Hello again, it's Jonathan at the Piano Lesson, and today we're going to continue with our fun-filled exploration of shell voicings, but in a minor key. And this is a little tip of the hat, but thank you very much, Francesco, for the question about how to do that in a minor key. That's what we need to know. It is not very hard, but so why don't we start first of all by just talking about what distinguishes a major key from a minor key in terms of shell voicings and the chord patterns that we're going to be using. Okay, so here we go. All right, and actually I remember from last week my hat was kind of dipping into the camera view, and I don't think I really want that, so I'm going to I think I'm going to take my hat off. Make sure that doesn't happen again. So the tune, Blue Bossa. Oh. All right. So it's in C minor. 1 4 1 5 1. That's, you know, classical music. Basically, da da, C minor, da 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 da, F minor, da da, D minor 7 flat 5, da da dee da da, G7 flat 9 potentially, da da. So that's your 2 5 1 in C minor. Then 2 5 1 in D flat. 2 5 1 E flat minor 7, A flat 7, D flat major 7, D minor 7 flat 5, I could keep the A flat or G natural, kind of delay it. That's nice, you know. All right, and then a turnaround. So 1 6 2 5 1 6. You could do A7, 2, 5, 1. The 6th chord, I'd kind of like to have the flat 5. All right. So this is our generic root position, second inversion chords, right? That's not, that will only take us so far. Here's second inversion, or root position. If I play G7 here and I play this against one another, the B natural, and this is actually A sharp, that's sharp 9. I like 6 better with the A natural. 2, E flat minor 7, A flat 7. 2 5 in C minor. That's A flat, the tritone. This is kind of an interesting observation. When you have a minor 7 flat 5, the tritone substitute is potentially a tritone dominant substitution for a minor chord. That's kind of unusual. And then, so these voicings sound okay around here. They're not going to sound good down there. That'll be way too muddy, and this is going to be way too thin. So here's our two options, okay? Our two basic options. We could take the middle notes out of the chord, E flat and G, put them up here, right? So then we would have, instead of C, E flat, G, B flat, right? We would have C, B flat, and then we'd have our E flat up here and our G. Okay, so C, B flat, E, and G. What did I do? E flat, right? E flat, because it's minor. That's our C minor. C minor 7, right? This is just the root position, C, E flat, G, B flat. The other way to approach it, right, instead of the root and the seventh, okay, root, seventh, third, fifth, we could have root, third, seventh, and we add the ninth. Root, third, that's the E flat, seventh, B flat, and the ninth, D. C, E flat, B flat, D, root, third, seventh, and ninth. Sorry about it if it looks a little confusing, but I'll show you. So this is this, this is this, or this is this. Two options, okay? And again, whenever we have this interval of a third here, we can always take that down an octave and make that into an interval of a tenth, which I like. That's kind of nice as opposed to this. Both are fine, really, but, right? The other one, again, we had this, right? You could do this too, right? But that's the idea. So how do you make choices? Well, you experiment, okay? And there's not necessarily one right answer, but it has to do with the proximity of the melody, right? We want to kind of keep everything in the same area for the moment. So here's the first way, right? Here's the second way, right? Here's the third way. Which one do you like best, right? I personally like that. I think that's very interesting. And actually what I would prefer is to play this down here. I like that a little better. Now, I will tell you that when I play melodies, I do like to add harmonies to all those melodies, and we'll talk a little bit about that, all right? It's not as hard as it seems, so please don't get freaked out if, I'm asking you to do this. But, if you could take any chord, okay, root, third, fifth, seventh, like C minor 7, okay, or C minor 6 for that matter, okay, and you play them in inversion. So root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion, which kind of looks like minor 7 flat 5, and then the A. Barry Harris loves 6 chords, but you could do it with a 7th chord. Either way, every other note, right, you play the diminished. So you alternate, right? C minor 6, diminished, C minor 6 in first inversion, diminished, C minor 6 in second inversion, diminished, diminished, C minor 6 in third inversion, diminished. All right. So if I'm going backwards, backwards in the scale, probably that's going to be the minor 6 chord, And that sounds, pretty nice. I mean, now I'm playing. Right, I'm adding this on to the lesson. That really wasn't the subject of what we're talking about today, but just as an exercise to prepare you, right? You can practice things like that. So, right now the melody. What's our options? Well, to me that's a little low. All right, I already have the third in the melody. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Watch. I mean, and I don't really need the C necessarily. Okay, the fifth is kind of superfluous, but I could add the 6 too. But I like this voicing better than choosing this voicing. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. That's just doesn't sound great in that region anyway, okay? And this is too high, you could, I suppose, I mean, that does work, but I like this better. Right, so the whole thing together, so there you have it. And I think let's just keep track of our voicings that we choose. Okay, so we'll just kind of make a note of that, of what we're doing. Okay, so the first one we had the C minor, and we added our ninth. So we had C, E flat, B flat, and D. Kind of liked that voicing, and potentially even having that octave lower C there, right? And then the F. Okay, so F, E flat. What did we say here? Yeah, E flat. Thank you. A flat and C. Okay, F, E flat, A flat, C. All right, that's our F minor 7. And the melody actually adds the ninth in the chord. Okay, this may be getting cut off a little bit, but I hope you're just listening to me. Right now, D minor 7 flat 5. Well, interestingly enough, that root position chord kind of sort of works, actually. And if I take the D and I bring it down an octave, nothing wrong with just doing that. I mean, you could just do that, and that would be all fine. So, that's just a garden variety. And there's just root and seventh. So, just to start with, okay, that happens to be the third of the chord. Root, seventh, third, fifth. That sounds pretty good too, actually. That's interesting. If you start to slow down the tempo, it's a little hard to decide what chords are going to sound good. You have to play up to tempo. Right now, this is a G7, root, third, seventh, and there's the sharp 9 in the melody, A sharp. Sometimes it's written as B flat in the melody, A flat, flat 9. And then we have now that works okay too, right there. Root, 7th, 3rd, 5th. That's way too dense, right? Let's just play through the whole thing for a second, but we'll do, just for argument's sake, we'll do D, F, A flat, C. Okay, that's our D minor 7 flat 5. And then our G7, we'll do I mean, that kind of works, even though it's just those 3 notes can work fine. I mean, that could work too, I suppose. Here I just have the root, 7th, 3rd, 5th. We haven't talked about this voicing particularly, but that could work. It doesn't have to be, I mean, that fingering, right? It's the same voicing, it's just a different fingering. I like this D, an octave lower. Okay, I like that an octave lower. That's a D, D. It's also a D, F, A flat, C. And then you have your G7. That works. It's a little dense. Okay, you got to just use your ear, and it sort of depends on what piano you're playing on, right? The other option was da, 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 da. No third there, by the way. That's an interesting sound. I left the third out. That's a possibility too. And that's a possibility. So you have rules, right? We have patterns, right? But you gotta modify the patterns and break the rules a little bit. You have to kind of use your ear. So let's just say G and F, right? And then we have you could play the B here. Now here's where I'm kind of breaking the rule a little bit, because I was saying, hey, we're going to get rid of these notes, right? I was saying we're going to put them up here, but guess what? In this scenario, that B kind of works okay with the A sharp and the A sharp, and then followed by the A flat, and that's just the melody. So that works. Now, another thing. Right now, when people, as a general rule, they think about chords, you think about playing all the notes at the same time, or sometimes you think about playing one note after another. That's called rolling a chord. But you have to, again, use your ear. You have to decide, well, if I'm going to play this, but that sounds a bit severe for me. So I would prefer to delay some of the notes. Let's see. That sounds a bit better than maybe that, right? That's a bit harsh. And then maybe play the melody first. That works to delay it. Now the other thing it does, it also helps the rhythm of the piece. So let's just play the whole kit and caboodle, and maybe we'll just get one more chord voicing here. Like there's a C and E. What are we doing? E flat, right? And then maybe a B flat, okay, up there, and maybe a D. C, B flat. Oh, excuse me. C, E flat, B flat, and a D. All right, that's your C minor 9, C minor 9, and this is your G7, sharp 9, flat 9, and D minor 7, flat 5. I know we're missing some of these chords off, we're just not seeing them right away. Maybe let me see if I can fix that just a little bit. Hey, look at that. Okay, that was an easy fix. Wouldn't it be nice if everything was that easy to fix? Okay, so here's in tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, by the way, little trick here. When you play an octave on the piano, okay, 2 considerations. Typically, when people play octaves on the piano, they use the thumb and then they follow it with the pinky. You just see that all, it reminds me of the Chopin etude, or what was it? What was it? Why don't you just use your middle finger, lift your whole arm? It's a better sound and you have more control, and also the timing is nicer. And when you repeat the note, use a different finger, okay? Don't use the same finger. It's going to sound too mechanical and stiff. So, 3. Now I'm using 5 here deliberately. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. How's that? That's not too bad, okay? It is a bossa nova, so you want to have a little bit of a sense that it's a bossa nova. Now the bridge, we've called it a bridge, not much of a bridge, but it's the second part. So root 7 third. That's a little bit low. Root 7 third. I don't know what to tell you there, folks, other than, we need to think of possibly some other things, but you could also have the melody up an octave higher, root 3rd, and then 7th. Now this is I typically don't like to double the third. That's the 11. That's a nice sound. I kind of like that register better than this. Although when I play down here this low on the piano, very often I just use two notes. I just use like the root and the melody. Walking tenths. So maybe for the second part of the song, you know, you might consider moving up here, or and this, see, this note, this is the seventh here, but you could possibly make that into a chromatic passing chord. It goes 2, 5, 1 to D flat. You could do 2, 5. You could do D flat major 7. Watch. What are we doing? Oh, I don't want that. Yeah, I think I want this. See, this is the 7th. Root, 3rd, 7th. I'm spreading all the notes out. And this is the 11th. And that's nice. Chromatic. This is D major 13. That's the 13. This is the 5th. 3rd. I'm doubling the 3rd. I don't have to, you know. That's sharp 11. So, and then going up diatonically, E flat minor, E diminished, G in first inversion. These are just diatonic chords, chromatic. That's the very rudimentary idea. Root position, first inversion, right? It's not F minor as such, but. So let's do the whole thing. So here, what did I do here? I played root, 5th, 3rd. I like that 10th, and here's the 7th. Root, 3rd, 7th. That's all the notes you really need, you know. And there's the 9th. Spreading that out. If I don't want to spread it out, I could just stay here. Here's the passing chord. I just don't quite like this. You know, if I'm playing D flat major 7, I don't like that. So that makes it a little more acceptable to me. And then D minor 7 flat 5. There's G7, sharp 9. Turn around. Now, if I'm just kind of vamping with the tempo, what did I do there? 2, 5, 1 to F minor. So that's a way to embellish. Rather than just having to stick with these two chords, you can always approach another chord with the 2-5 in its key. G minor 7 flat 5. If you're going to F minor, probably G minor 7 flat 5. Although in this instance, that doesn't quite sound right because the melody is C, so it's just G minor 7. C7. Now, again, here's the advantage of our shell voicings. You can sustain the notes, just hold down the outer notes like a hinge, okay? And then use this rhythmically, like a guitar player. Especially when you have a long note. Notice I went up an octave instead of going down. Instead of going da da da, I didn't do that. I went da 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 da. Why did I do that? Well, I just feel like I like this part of the piano better than low down here. Just a little too grumbly for me. Da, da, da. Okay, how was that? Is that okay? Did I do good? That's it. So mess around with that. I never get tired of hearing that song. I really think it's just a beautifully written song, nice little package. But I gotta go. So we'll look forward to seeing you next time. And again, feel free to make any comments, and I'm happy to oblige in the following week with whatever help I can give. Au revoir and ciao.